Kolbrin Bible, Book 2, Gleanings, Chapter 15, verses 28 through 31, Types of Men Who Serve God Best, verses 1, 54, and 61 is added. Kolbrin Bible, Book 2, Gleanings, Chapter 15, The Voice of God. GLN 15:1. The voice of God came out of the heavens unto his servants, even before the days of Wunis. But in these days it has come to certain of his devoted ones who heard it within the cavern of visions. Afterwards each wrote it down according to his own hearing, and lo, when they came together, it was seen that each had recorded the same words. Thus the things which were heard by the three and set down by them in writing, all being agreed alike, are things recorded forever. Many ask if God exists. Why is earth and humanity so flawed? There is a purpose, even if men in ignorance fails to see it. Humanity can't learn if there are no consequences. We see life as finite, but we fail to see earth as not all, only the beginning. GLN 1528. Though men may despair because I am veiled from them, though they may seek without finding, I am not indifferent to their needs and desires. Doubt and uncertainty are essential earthly conditions, serving a definite end. I have not surrounded men with perplexities and obscurities unnecessarily. The climate of unbelief and materialism, strange though it may seem to men, is best for their spiritual health. I know better than men themselves what is best for them, for I alone can see the broad design spread over the ages. I alone see the end and objective. Though unenlightened men expect it, it is not meant for me to interfere unduly in the affairs of earth. Even though everything is within God, he still labors. Mankind in its ignorance has not yet learned that, just as adults must try and instill in children those things that can best serve them in the future. Sadly, we can be stubborn, and so therefore make mistakes and must learn from those mistakes, instead of taking the advice when it was offered. GLN 1529. All things are mine and under my dominion, but man may deal with them as he will. I do not interfere. But finally, man is accountable. Though I have all and nothing can add to my grandeur, with all this I still labor. Therefore, man should never disdain to labor, for this is an attribute of the highest. I do not require of any man that he do something I would not do, or be something I would not be. I am the God of righteousness. If ever I ceased to labor, the universe would be without order. Chaos would prevail and precede its destruction. There are many paths to enlightenment. Some may be evil, but if it serves by teaching what not to do, then it is acceptable in God's eyes. GLN 1530. I am the God of many aspects, for men may conceive me in any form they wish, or even as something without form. I am the God of men's hearts, and whichever way and by whatever name man serve me. Abiding by my laws and conforming with the great design is right in my eyes. Any path which will bring man to his goal is the right road. Truly the path chosen by men are many and varied. Some are even devious, but if they be true paths of enlightenment and development, they are acceptable in my sight. However, those who lust for earthly power, offering sacrifice and worship to earthly gods, conceived to accord with their desires, are not acceptable to me. It is true that earthly success and power may come to those who strive for them, but do they achieve anything more than fleeting satisfaction? What manner of being would now dominate earth had all men been without divine enlightenment from the beginning? If earthly ends alone had dominated men's minds, consider that earthly life would have been like had it been left to develop predominated by materialism, if it had not been mitigated by injections of the divine. There are four types of men that God seeks: those that suffer afflictions and sorrow that develops the soul, those who labor that earth and man may benefit, those that seek after truth, and those with vision and creativity. Although rare are those who avoid evil trappings and thoughts of wickedness, thereby erasing the good they do. GLN 1531. There are four main types of men who are good and serve me well. They are those who suffer courageously the afflictions and sorrows which develop the soul, those who labor that earth and man may benefit, those who seek after truth, and those with vision and creativity. Yet how rare are those among these who do not besmirch their record with deeds of evil and thoughts of wickedness. All too many may have by their carnal desires and acts of wickedness countered their goodness to the detriment of their immortal souls. The reason for us being in a material world is to learn the fragility of what is around us, so that when we move on, we will be less rash and impetuous. GLN 1554. These are divine things, yet they can be set down only in the mere words of men, and will thus be reduced to things of mortal frailty. Mere words will be read, and the pattern formed by them will be far short of truth and reality. The taste of a fruit or the fragrance of a flower cannot be known by reading about them. The fruit must be eaten, and the flower smelt. Only in union with me, spirit communicating with spirit, can proof of my reality be found. Yet, because things are as they are, truth must ever be veiled from man, as man. But who would labor if laborers were paid whether they worked or not? Were they revealed to him, the ignorant man would not comprehend great things. Therefore, the light is not for him. The insincere and shallow seeker after diversion and pleasure will find little entertainment in these words. The really illuminated man will already know something of the truth, and will therefore seek it more diligently along a higher path. So these words are given just for those sincere seekers who are aware of their own shortcomings and ignorance. These will be people whose thoughts are not smothered by prejudice, who are not set in their opinions, for who among men is the most confirmed in his opinions, who states things in the most assertive manner and talks with the loudest voice? Is it not the most ignorant? I would not let the sincere seeker go unguided. I am the light on the path. GLN 1561. Would you know the ultimate state of man when he has finally reached his goal? When he has entered into his inheritance of divinity? It is a state of glory transcending anything conceivable by him during an earthbound existence. His consciousness expands to embrace everything, all that ever was or will be. He sees all, he knows all, he is in all, and he contains all. These things come to him through infinite powers of perception. Yet he is above all such powers, he is beyond all, yet within all, he is beyond the realm of matter, freed from all restrictions. Yet he is not denied its joys, and may, if he so desires, manifest again in matter. His thoughts have the power of creation. He is one with the light of lights, the light transcending vision. He is the partaker of my substance, my son in eternity, the inheritor of everlasting life. I am your God, the Father of man. These are my thoughts while I was reading, and I will admit I am flawed as well, so while I think it is good and at least can do no harm, in the end each person has different experiences that will give the words different meanings, or possibly an experience you lack, so the words make no sense currently, but in time it will gain context.